Daryl.
We here, Shawn.
Ram Nation.
We made it.
I didn't bring my terrible towel.
You didn't break the towel.
I was going to bring the towel. I was going to spin and say Ram Nation. But I'm acting like I got it. Ram Nation. Stand up. We are here.
Green Grind's on site.
Franklinton High School.
We got here, Shawn, and
gotta give a shout first to Brent and Randy for helping us get in here, man.
We gotta thank them so
same
much.
thing. Franklinton coaching staff,
Yep.
high schools administration, and our faculty.
Yep.
The booster clubs, everybody athletics. We want to thank y'all for allowing us to be here today. We are just honored.
Yeah. I mean, we're here. That's all I can keep saying, Shawn. We are here. And we said we was going to get here, and we are here. And we're here at a perfect time, Shawn.
That's it.
Because why? We got these two helmets.
That's a big old rivalry.
Old rivalry getting to start up, and we're going to be talking about that in this show. But, Shawn, before we could even start talking about that game, we got to go back in time and talk about what happened last week.
Well, Darren, before we go to my game, let me hear about... Well, let's do my game first since we at Franklinton, and we'll do that game next.
Right.
Well, Darren, I got Southeast Halifax versus Northampton County.
Yep.
We both picked Northampton County. We said last week, I watched the show 5 times. We said easy win.
That's what we said.
And that's what we thought. Now, Southeast is a good team down there in 1A, but we thought Northampton would just have a little more firepower than the Trojans Southeast Halifax. But unfortunately, what we always say, that's why they turn the lights on Friday night. Because the boys and the girls can get out there and play football.
Yep.
Southeast 4-1 was able to beat Northampton. Now, Northampton came into this game 5-0.
Yep.
I just found out that their record now has been changed to 3-3. They had an ineligible player the first 2 games against Roanoke Rapids and Bunn, so that gave Bunn a win and Roanoke Rapids a win through forfeit.
Okay.
So now they're 3-3, and if you're Northampton, you went from leading the pack to now the 3rd one in the pack because of the 2 forfeits that you had to give up. Then with that loss to Southeast Halifax, and I wonder, finding out that before the game, if that kind of hurt the game plan of the game for that game. But if you're Southeast Trojans, you know, we always say that, you know, you want that check box.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's a check box win. Whether you beat a Northampton 5-0 or Northampton 3-3, that's a check box win, and that's setting up, Daryl, a good game because Southeast Halifax right now is undefeated in their conference. Wilson Prep is undefeated in that conference.
Okay.
And guess what they play, Daryl?
Who they got?
Last game of the season.
Who they got?
Wilson Prep, Southeast Halifax. If both teams continue to play the type of football they've been playing the past 5 weeks, you're talking about 2 teams that can run the table, play each other, final game of the season for a conference championship and for a conference championship berth in the playoff where one team will host a home game and another team will be going on the road.
And that's, again, this is that time of the season. That's what you want to be playing for. And you want to be able to get into those situations. And I'm telling you, if they both get there, you know we got to go last game of the season.
We got to go.
We're going to Tiger Stadium.
We got to be there.
Tiger Pride,
grit and grind. We covered. We on the road. Well, Darryl, we here at Franklinton. You came out to the Franklinton game on Thursday. We had some Thursday night football due to the tropical storm, hurricane depression that came through over the weekend. So tell me, Darryl, what did you see between Franklinton and Nash Central that stuck out to you in that game?
What stuck out with me in the game, and Nash Central won the game, and Nash Central got back on track from losing that game to Southern Nash at home. They took care of business. I think the score was 49-7 in that game, and the game was called late because of some injuries for players and also referees. So we sent our prayers out to those players and the referee during that time. But it was a tough game in that first half for both teams. Nash Central did what they normally do, is run the ball.
That's it.
And took care of business. But with Franklinton, they are a young team. They got a lot of juniors and sophomores on this team.
Okay.
And, you know, they have key players like Aiden Hemphill, Damian Miller, Shane Thomas, JT Williams. Those are some of the guys on offense that stuck out to me that I saw in that game. And this is a young team, but they have talent coming from that JV squad.
And what I always say about Franklinton, this is the most scariest team in this conference this year because they get better every game, whether win or lose. You see something that they done in the previous game that they cut out on in the next game.
Right. And it was one drive in the first half that they went and just drove the ball down the field by throwing the ball down. And it's a young team that is going to get better. And they remind me of that Nash Central team.
We talk about that team on this show.
years ago.
We talk about this team so much, and it's because we always say the Southern, Northern, Rocky Mountains, they're going to be loaded every year.
Right.
And, we know that.
Yeah.
Those three teams, they may have a down year, 1 year where they get to. A down year to them is not having a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
For some teams, a down year is not getting to the playoffs.
That's it.
A down year for those three teams is not having a deep run, getting at least to the second or third round. But Nash Central, like we said 3 years ago, that's what Franklinton's at. They built a foundation.
And that's what Franklinton is doing right now. They're building that foundation. They're getting these young kids going to be involved. And next season is going to be where you start reap the benefits.
That's it. That's what you want to see.
And you need to be watching out for this Franklinton team next year.
They're coming
because they
right around
are
the
going
curve.
to be a good team. And the heart is there. And these
you
kids
can see
play. Yeah, you can definitely see it. And these kids played with that in the game against Nash Central.
And I got to say one thing about Nash Central before we leave this segment.
What's that?
We say that Southern, Northern, and Rocky Mountain load up every year. Yeah. That Nash Central team, them Bulldogs are starting to load up every year.
Too.
And now with Nash Central, you can say that about them. If they don't make it to the second, third round of the playoffs, that's an unsuccessful season for them.
Yep.
Because all these three teams got state championship on their mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, with that being said, Daryl, we're right here in Franklinton. Please tell me, who was the grit player of the week?
All right, Shawn, so my grit player of the week on the defensive side of the ball, I got to go to Northern Nash.
Knights.
Northern Nash Knights. Now, like we said last show, we don't talk about we pick our pick.
We just show up and record.
Show up, record, have out who we going to be, the grit player, the grind player. But none
of this stuff is discussed.
None of it. So, number 82 for Northern Nash, Andrew Zipko, defensive lineman. He had a forced fumble. He had 3 solo tackles in the game. When I saw the highlights of the game against Bunn, it was the sack that he had on the quarterback that caused the fumble that led to a touchdown for them. He was all over the field for me. And also with him on that defense, you got Carson and Strickland, both with that straight up balling on the defense. But for me, this week's grit player is going to be Andrew Zipko. Shawn, who's that grind player of the week?
Well, I got to go right back to Death Valley. Death Valley said grit and grind. You come here, use our field to record.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Anytime you want to come down here and hang out, you hang out.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We go record, then we go watch a little bit of practice, see what they doing down there.
Yep.
But they said you're not talking about us on the show, and I got to say Northern Nash is a quiet storm over there because we said on the pregame show that this is a good team still.
Yeah.
But this could be a team that if you want to get a good resume win on your resume, catch them early.
That's what we said.
And we threw that out the window, week 2, week 3?
Week 1.
We threw that out the window, didn't we?
Week 1.
We threw that out the window.
Yeah.
This Northern Nash team, we kept saying it was going to be a good team. Just was a lot of things that we had to work the kinks out from last year's team. But those kinks got worked out during spring OTA and summer OTA.
Yeah.
And my grind players come from Northern Nash, and I can't give it to one without giving it to both of them. DeJuan Mitchell, the senior running back, and Brian Strickland, the junior or sophomore running back, have combined for a total of 300 yards, 314 in the past 5 games. 623 yards combined together. 5 touchdowns combined together. And there's another guy on Northern Nash who got 8 touchdowns with only 100 yards. I didn't even add him into this. I just went with the top 2 with the most rushing yards on the team. This Northern Nash team, I'm telling you, it's scary.
It's a very scary team.
And we started saying that last year around about this time when they started winning a bunch of games, and we started seeing the scores just keep inching up every week. It went from 21-point win, 30-point win, 40-point win.
And it's the defense
It's
as well.
the defense.
They are stepping up, and Northern Nash is flexing those muscles right now.
Coach Ferris has this team locked in.
And again, can't forget, they are the reigning
Grit and grind
Nash County champs.
To beat the man, you got to what?
You got to beat the man.
Old man said that a long time ago.
And so Northern Nash is doing their thing right now.
Well, Daryl, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump up to the game of the week because we got 4 of them this week, and we know people are ready to hear about our games of the week. First one we got, Daryl, I want to go out west.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
I haven't been out west in a while.
And we said we was going.
And we've been saying we were going out west. We kept saying it was coming week 3.
Yeah.
Well, I got an email and a text from somebody. You said you were going out west week 3?
Yep.
We didn't hear nothing. Then they said, well, 2 weeks ago, you did give us a shout out for a game of the week, a watch out game.
That's what we said. Yep.
Now I got to go out west for our Smoky Mountain Western Game of the Week. It is back, a segment that the people out in Western Carolina love. This segment right here, and it features two good teams. It features the 4-1, 1-0 East Wilkes Cardinals hosting the 6-0, 2-0 Mount Airy Granite Bears. Mount Airy, watch out, we're back. And Daryl, you got the road team,
I got
so
the road
I'll give
team.
it to you first.
All right, and like you said, they're coming out of Northwest 1A conference. Mount Airy's at 6-0, 2-0 in the conference. And I looked at this team, and I looked at their schedule, Shawn. To be 6-0 is not a regular 6-0.
No.
They started the season off August the 28th, and they played North Series, won 58-0. Then they played East Series, won 49-0. Now, that East Series win, last year they lost the East Series.
They did.
14-12. That was the only loss they had last year.
On that
Went
campaign,
15-1 on that campaign
for
to
that state championship.
and they won state championship, but that was the only loss. Well, when they played East Series this year, they made sure that wasn't even a thing to think about.
And that's what you want to do.
Then you play Series Central, 56-0. Then you play Ashe County. I think that was 49-0. Then you play North Stokes, 64-0.
Lockdown.
Then Starmount, 47-15. So you got a combined number of points, 323 points that you have scored in 6 games and only given up 22. Let me say that again.
Please.
You scored 323 points.
And only give it how many?
22. And the thing is, these are not bad teams they're beating.
I'm not no mathematician, but if this was math class, I think the greater side would be going this way, wouldn't it?
We going this way. North Series is 3-3. East Series 3-2. Ashe County is 2-1. No, excuse me, 4-1. Starmount was 5-1.
So these good teams.
These are good teams. So Mount Airy's key players: Deshaun Martin, Taylor Massey, Caleb Reed. You got 2 running backs in Mason and Reed. Mason's rushing over 500 yards right now. Reed's over 300. Martin's got 350 roughly. So you getting it on offense with 3 different players that's running the ball. Then on defense, you got Reed, Joyce, Dawkins, Gallimore. Those guys are playing good defense as well. So Mount Airy's is, like you said, they're on that campaign trail
head back to
that state
and
championship.
to defend that state championship.
To defend it. And they're letting it be known that we're here, we ain't going nowhere, and this team is focused. And that's the key word for me for this team, is to stay focused. Because when you win like you're winning, you can get relaxed.
You can.
And the key is you got to keep that focus and that dominance that you got going on, because you still got some good teams coming up. And you're going to play a good team now.
You got a good one right here.
And tell me about that team, Shawn.
Well, you got the East Wilkes Cardinals coming in 4-1, 1-0 with conference play. And this is another team like Mount Airy that's won good games. West Wilkes, 28-21. They won. Series Central, 24-18, an overtime win. Now, that's the one I highlight because they win in overtime, but they won the game. Then you got North Wilkes, 48-2, you won. Then you got Wilkes Central, you lost 21-7. But then you had Stokes last week, South Stokes, you won 41-0. Not a bad East Wilkes Cardinal team, a good team. But the message to them is Austin Nash, Trisha Aker, Reese Doblin. I want you guys to listen up, because in the past 5 games, y'all have all rushed for 998 yards. But I want y'all to listen up right to the coach. This is not a grit grind, Shawn. This is Coach Shawn. The road to the playoffs of the 1A state championship starts this week at your house.
Yep.
It don't start next week.
No.
It starts this week at your house. You need to go and defend your home territory and beat Mount Airy. Now, last year, Mount Airy came in there and beat them 6-7 at Mount Airy. At their house. If I'm East Wilkes, this game is highlighted on the schedule because you are a good team. You put up over 144 receiving yards. You can go in and get a win in this game and shock the world. That's what we always say. What they do on Friday night? That's why they do what?
That's why they play the game.
And that's why they turn the lights on.
Yeah.
So that you can go out there and showcase your schemes, what the coach has drawn up. My message for East Wilkes is listen to your coaches.
Yep.
Do your job. And it starts on Monday morning when you go in that classroom.
Yeah, that's what we say every time.
You got to get focused in the classroom. You got to be focused in practice. You got to be locked in because you got to mount every team that, like Daryl said, they could come into this game knowing they beat you last year 62-70 their house and be relaxed. And you could catch them. I mean, prime example, the recap game we just talked about. Southeast Halifax, Northampton. Southeast Halifax caught a Northampton team that came in relaxed. You can catch them the same way, and you can maybe steal a win and start your campaign to get into a state championship game.
Yep.
I got to pick on it, Daryl.
I got to pick on this, too.
I'm not going to make it now. I'm going to say for that 5-minute quick pick.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to hear, the 5-minute quick pick. All right, Shawn, so our next game.
Well, we got a good one over there down there in Wilson County. 2-3, 0-2 Saints Southern Wayne versus the 4-1, 2-0 Warriors of Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt is 4-1, and the only loss they have is Northern Nash.
Hunt is back.
And Hunt is, since that CBA card game, they have just been on a straight mission. They played Triple S last week, won 61-0. We told Hunt, play your game.
That's what we said.
Do what you do best. Don't worry about nobody else. And they took that. And I said something last time when we talked about Hunt when they played CBA Cup.
You said prove it.
That's what I said.
But you changed your pick.
I did change my pick. But this Hunt team it's loaded. And
Load
the
all
thing,
the way around.
yeah, and the thing is, last year they did lose 21-17 to Triple S. But again, this last game, 61-0. Again, the key players for me for Hunt is Carson Jones, the quarterback, Terrell, the running back, and then that defense, Jackson, B. Lawton, who was a great player of the week a couple weeks ago, Hinton, Ward, Harris. Those guys are continuing to play each game. They're getting better.
That's right.
And they hitting that stride. The same way we talked about Northern Nash hitting the stride. Hunt is hitting that stride. And Hunt is flexing their muscles. And this is a good chance. They got 5 games left. And I looked at that schedule, and they got a good chance of winning all 5 games. And last year, this time, they was in that same situation.
They were.
And they slipped up and let their hometown rival Fight beat them.
Fight has beat them, I think, 12 years in a row.
And you can...
And that's how Fight got in.
And that's how Fight got in last
the playoffs.
So, as a team, y'all can't look ahead. But we can look ahead and talk about this.
Because we can show.
We can talk about this. But you got a good chance of running the tables. But know that Fight team, regardless of what Fight record is,
they going to show up to
play that game. So Hunt is playing some good football right now. And I think they're going to continue to play good football. And Shawn, tell me about that other team they got to play.
Southern Wayne, 2-3, 0-2, the Saints of Southern Wayne. If you watch some of our old shows last year, they were on our inventory Monday list. But they turned things around.
Yep.
And we said this was a team to watch out. But things have not gone their way since we told them watch out. Well, they won their first game 22-20 at home.
Yep.
Then they went on the road. That was a rival, Eastern Wayne. Went on the road to play their other rival, Goldsboro. 56-14 in Goldsboro. If you put up 56 points, that means your offense was doing good.
Yeah.
Then they played their other rival in Wayne County, Rosewood, a 1A school. But a school that played Tarboro last year to get to a state championship game. They lost 30-12. Then they played East Wake, first conference. They had a bye, played East Wake, first conference game. 46-32 lost. Then they played last week at home against West Johnson. West Johnson, good team over there.
Yeah.
41-6. If you are the Saints, you want to scratch this Rosewood, East Wake, and West Johnson game out your memory. And you want to go back to that Goldsboro game. And you want to watch the tape and see what did we do right that night. Because to put up 56 points, even though Goldsboro is a winless team, to put up 56 points, your offense was doing something right. Your defense was playing sound-minded, smart footballs. Cut back on penalties. Because you went into conference play right behind ACOT, Hunt, and West Johnson. Now you have slipped behind this. Now this is where you at now. Hunt, ACOT, West Johnson, South Johnson, East Wake. You was up, and now you have fallen back because of these 2 conference games. I mean, you just got to get back. In the first 2 games, they scored 88 points combined. I mean, they lost against East Wake by 14 points. That's not bad. But you just got to get back to playing what y'all were doing in the first 2 games. And that goes back to what we said. Get focused.
Yep.
Do your job. Don't worry about the next man on the beside you. You do your assignment, what the coach tell you to do, and things will fall your way. This is a toss-up game they got with Hunt because it could be a trap game for Hunt.
It could be.
And it could be a Southern Wayne coming out party where they get a good win.
Say. It could be a trap game for Hunt.
I mean, because this team can put up 56 points. I don't know what my pick at right now. Now, this one, I'm just going to make it on the fly.
Okay.
I don't know where it's at, but I'm going to make it on the fly, Daryl. But we got another game we got to get to.
All right, we got to go back to Nash County.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Of the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship game.
Starts round 2.
Starts round 2. 5-1.
Woo.
1-1.
Yep.
0-1.
Yep.
Let me break that record out. 5-1 Nash Central.
Yep.
They're 1-1 in the conference.
Yep.
And they're 0-1 for that Grit and Grind Nash County Championship.
As of right now.
As of right now.
Yeah.
Versus 1-3 overall. 1-0 in conference play. 0-0 because they haven't played the game yet for the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship. Rocky Mountain. I'm the road team.
All right.
I'm the dog pal.
Yep.
They going to Grapevine Stadium, so I'm going to go first. Bulldogs. We've been talking about this team all season because they've been playing the most non-conference games against the Nash County team, so we've been talking about it. So we just going to fast forward and go back and watch the old episodes and catch up to this episode, but we're going to pick up right here some big key wins that I see. The Bulldogs got some big wins that I like on their resume there. 56-28 Southwest Edgecote.
Yeah, that was big time.
SWE 4-2.
Yeah.
Big wins of the week. Bedford 2-3, 35-18. Franklinton 42-8 last week, 2-4. The only loss the Bulldogs had was to a Southern Nash team, 22-8, that's 5-1. Which we said this Southern Nash team was coming off a loss against Southern Alamance at Firebird Stadium at the Firebird Funhouse.
Yep.
We wanted to see how this team bounced back. Well, how would they bounce back?
Right. That's
and play a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they supposed to do. They bounced back and got a win on the road against a good team. This Nash Central team right here is a loaded team and a good team. I mean, they got the running backs. Last week, they threw for 100 yards passing against Franklinton.
Yeah.
You got Rashid, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns. That backfield, Jones, Finkley, Warren, and Rogers. 6 games, all of them combined has 1,298 yards. Do you want to know how many touchdowns they got combined together?
How many?
23 touchdowns.
Woo.
That Nash Central run game is strong. You can win this game, Nash Central. Your defense, you got Bill Holman, Harris, Johnson, Wilkerson, Drayhorn, Tucker. Nash Central, I'm telling you, you can come into this game and get 1-1 for that Grit and Grind Nash County Championship. But the thing is, with Nash Central, they got to remember is last year at the Dog Pound,
that's what I was going to say.
They lost 16-7 in a game that we thought a Nash Central team would win.
Yeah.
So
well, you thought.
I
went with Rocky Mountain on that game.
Pause 1 second.
I went with Rocky Mountain on that game.
I wanted to see if he was going to catch that. And he did. He caught it and made the correction.
Remember, I picked y'all to win that game
He picked the
last year.
Gripball. I picked the Bulldogs.
And speaking of last year, so yeah.
Go ahead, Gerald.
So last year, they did win 16-7.
They did.
And Isaiah Silver had a good night against them. He rushed. He had over 51 yards rushing in that game. And again, just like you said, Rocky Mount is 1-0 in the conference, 1-3. They beat Bunn their last game 32-7. They had a bye last week. And it's an opportunity because now you're playing at home. And now Rocky Mount has gotten those young guys that we talked about because this is that same team that lost 27 seniors last year. Now those young guys got a couple games under the belts. They're feeling good about themselves. Hey, you know, we can actually ball with these guys. But you're playing a good Nash Central team.
Good Nash Central team.
Good Nash Central team. So key players that's got to show up for Rocky Mount: Isaiah Silvers, Mitchell. Mitchell is right now, I want to say roughly around about 800, close to that many yards right now. Harold, you got him on offense as well.
Mm-hmm.
Defense-wise, you got Parker, Lewis, Lee Jones. So you got players on this team that can play. And we talked about this early in the season with Rocky Mount.
That's right.
Is that you just got to be able to do your job, play good defense, keep keep the penalties down low.
That's right.
Keep the penalties because you're playing a good Nash Central team.
They don't make that many mistakes.
That don't make mistakes. Keep the running low, like the first downs. If you can stop those runs from Nash Central on first downs instead of them getting 4-5 yards on first down, they get 2 yards. Give yourself a good chance to where it's a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
And that's what Southern did.
Yeah, that's what Southern did. And then, again, leave it on the field. Just leave it on the field. You know you beat this team last year, so you have that confidence coming into this game, and you just get yourself ready to play. Again, starts in the classroom.
That's right.
That first Monday morning.
When that bell rings.
When that bell rings. Turn in your projects. Do your homework. Knock all that stuff out early in the week.
Then get the practice on time.
Get the practice on time. Do your job. What the coaches got the game plan, follow the game plan. And then Friday night, come ready to play.
That's all you can do.
And so, I got to pick on this.
You do.
But we got to wait.
I got to wait.
Got to wait. And our
prime time. Grit and grind.
Grit, grind, prime time.
Game of the week. This is an old rivalry down here in Franklin County. And that's why we came to Franklinton.
Yep.
Just for this rivalry. 2-3, 0-2. And I'm going to go ahead and say 0-0.
Yeah.
Wildcats of Bunn.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I'm say after this now. Versus the 2-4, 1-1, 1-0, Red Rams of Franklinton, Ram Nation. Now, did you catch the 0-0, 1-0?
I caught that.
Because you know what they playing for, don't you?
What they playing for?
The Grit and Grind Franklin County Championship. We going to go ahead and just say, y'all playing for it. Daryl,
Yeah.
I got the home team, you got the road team.
Yep.
I'll let you go first.
You're going to let me go first. Like you said, Bunn is 2-3, 0-2. Their last game, they lost to Northern Nash on the road. And for Bunn, this would be their 3rd game on the road.
Just to see.
They started off, they had a bye a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Then they started the on the road campaign. They had to go to Rocky Mount.
On the road.
Had to go to Northern Nash.
On the road.
And now they got to come to Franklinton.
Boy, they need to play this on the road again. Yeah. I just can't wait to be on the road again.
So Bunn has been on the road for a minute. And like you said, this is a hometown rival. Now, the last time Bunn won this game was in 2016.
Yes.
And with that, they had DJ Jones. He rushed for over 224 yards in that game, and they won 42-14. But prior to that, Bunn had dominated that series. I think it went back to 2011, I want to say, that Bunn was winning games up until 2016. So it starts again with key players that we talk about. Trenton Thompson, Wesley Evans, Cook, Tucker, Mitchell, and Elijah Austin, wide receivers. You know, those guys got to step up. You can't look at that Rocky Mount game or that Northern Nash game. You got to throw those 2 games out the door.
This is
a rival. This is rival. This is everybody 0-0.
That's right.
When you play this game, your record don't mean nothing.
Throw them out the window, right?
Throw them out the window because this is a rival game. And so if you're Bunn, you got to come ready to play. And I say this, go back to that game where you won against Granville Central, 42-6. Look at those plays that y'all ran. And go back and say, okay, what did we do good in this game that we can carry over into this game against Franklin? And for me, the keys of the game for Bunn is you got to pressure the quarterback. Because Franklinton has 2 good quarterbacks.
They do.
And then you also have to be able to cut down on the penalties and also know where those wide receivers are at. If you're the corners, you're going to have to back up a little bit because they got number 5. He was all over the field against Nash Central.
That's right.
And so you got that. And then again, just play hard. Leave it out on the field and realize this is a rival game. And you got to be ready to come play. All right, Shawn. So tell me about them Franklinton Rams.
2-4, 1-1, 1-0 for the Franklin County Grit and Grind Championship. I'm keep throwing it out there. Ram Nation, you know what to do. What I always say, stand up. It's time to stand up. Don't let the record fool you. I'll tell you every week this team gets better each game. It's a young team.
Yes.
And it's a team that you're going to have the growing pains this season. But the growing pains are going to make you better for a playoff game and for next season. I mean, this team, 34-6 over their rival Lewisburg.
Yeah.
22-14 over Roanoke Rapids. The only teams they lost to is just like what we said about the team playing in Mount Airy.
Yeah.
They only lost against, well, what was it about Mount Airy? They won against teams with winning records. This team has lost against teams with winning records. Apex, 4-1. South Central, 3-3, 500. Wakefield, 2-3, had a tough non-conference schedule.
Yep.
Nash Central, 5-1.
Yep.
Franklinton, and when I went and looked at some of these teams' non-conference schedules, I saw it was about the Franklinton Red Rams, Ram Nation. They had one of the hardest non-conference schedules in this conference. I mean, their non-conference schedule was just about as hard as Northern Nash, Nash Central, and Southern Nash. So that lets you know. And I mean, they could have went to the association and say, we want to play games around us nearby for our non-conference. They could have went to South Granville, Granville Central, Warren County, East Wake, Quantum Holders. I'm not saying these bad teams, but that's what they could have done. But they were the one that said, we want to go play Apex, a good 4A school,
Right.
to see where we're at. We want to go play a South Central on the road down in Winterville to see where we at. We want to go to Raleigh and play a Wakefield, another 4A school, to see where we're at. That's what you want. But they're sitting at a good place right now that you own that bubble seat, where if you can win some good wins, you can get a push in where you may can host a playoff game and not have to go on the road. But with Franklinton, it starts this week right here. Because after this game, you know who they got next?
Who they got?
Northern Nash.
Ooh.
Rocky Mountain.
Ooh.
Southern Nash.
Ooh.
So it starts this week to start your campaign of showing the playoff selection committee that we got some good wins and we got some losses, but those losses were against good teams.
Right.
So we should be able to win, but we got some good wins against good teams. We should be able to get a road game on the playoffs. And that builds confidence for next year's team. Because you can say, we went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
As a young team. We'll come back next year more loaded with a good JV that's coming up.
Yeah.
With sophomores and juniors playing varsity that's got that experience that's going to be ready. But it starts with Damian Miller, Ray Cruder, Samuel Bobby, Aiden Hemphill, the center, Landon Michaels, Rasheed Coppridge. I mean, that's the key for Franklin to win this game. Play your game, listen to your coaches, do your job. What we always say, Monday morning when the bell ring 8 o'clock, it start there. Get the class on time, get those assignments done, get the practice on time. Because this is a route, because Bunn's looking like this. If we can stop them from getting to a playoff game, that's our season.
That's our season right
there. We beat our rival. We stopped them. We won the game that stopped them from getting a road game on the playoffs.
That's it. All right,
I got my pick.
You got your pick.
Are you ready for it, Daryl?
Yeah, it's that time.
Let's jump over 8-man football.
All right.
3-1 Faith Christian, 0-1 Sand Hill Classical Christian School. Long name.
I'm sticking with Faith Christian.
I'm sticking with Faith Christian.
I said Faith Christian last week.
I'm staying with them.
I'm staying with them.
We got some Monday night football games making up for Friday night.
Okay.
3-2 Rocky Mount Academy versus 3-0 St. David's.
I'm going St. David's. I'm going to go St. David's on this one.
Man, why you making it hard on me?
I'm making it hard. I'm going St.
I want to go with, you know my motto is Rocky Mount Academy, don't you?
What's that?
It's the academy that play football. Give me the academy that play football. I'm going Rocky Mount Academy. Another Monday night game, makeup game, 2-3 CCS versus 0-0 Bethel Christian Academy. Both teams would have had a bye because of the tropical storm. They're going to play on the bye week this week.
All right, I'm going CCS.
CCS. 3-0 Halifax Academy versus 3-1 Northeast Academy.
I'm going Halifax Academy.
That's their Monday night game, Halifax. Now they got a Friday night game, Halifax Academy versus Bethel Christian Academy.
I'm going to stick with Halifax.
Stick with Halifax.
Yeah.
Wayne Christian versus 3-0 St. David's. St. David.
I'm going to go
Friday night game.
I'm going Wayne Christian.
I'm going Wayne Christian on that. Let's jump over to East Wake, then we'll go Wilson.
All right.
East Wake, 1-3 East Wake versus CBA Cop makeup game for Monday night.
Woo.
That'll be Monday. Would have played, but the storm pushed it.
Yeah.
So you get a chance to change your pick.
Yeah, we get a chance to
Are
change
you going to change it? Or are you going to stay with it?
I'm going to stick with CBA Cop.
I'm sticking with ACOP.
Yep.
Then East Wake got to play Friday night versus West Johnson. West Johnson.
I'm going West Johnson on that one.
4-1 Roseville versus 2-3 Wakefield on Friday night. Roseville.
Yeah, I'm going
Rams.
Roseville.
Two Ram Nations, though.
Yeah.
The original Ram Nation is Franklinton. We gotta get Roseville Dave with the Ram deal. 4-1 Wake Forest versus 1-4 Nightdale. Nightdale on the down year this year.
Nightdale's
This is not the Nightdale we used to see.
Yeah, I'm going.
Gotta go Coach Ridge.
Yeah.
4-1 Wake Forest. 2-3 Corn Holders versus 2-3 South Gardner.
I'm going South Garden. I'm going South Garden. Calvin Finch, got a good friend, Calvin Finch, work out that South Garden. I'm going South Garden.
I seen the Pirates play, but I think this South Gardner going to have just a little bit more than that. I'm going South Gardner. Warren, Edgecombe, Halifax, Northampton, 4-0 Tarboro versus 1-3 Bird T, rescheduled from last week to this Friday night.
Okay.
Tarboro. 1-4 North Edgecombe versus 0-5 Northwest Halifax.
Ooh, I'm gonna go North Edgecombe.
I'm sticking North Edgecombe on that one. 5-1 Southeast Halifax versus 0-6 Rocky Mount Prep. Trojan Southeast Halifax 4-0 in conference play. Southeast Halifax.
Yeah, Southeast Halifax on that.
3-3 Northampton. We explained why they're 3-3 versus 2-3 Warren County.
Ooh, I gotta go. Ooh,
You know what? I got him.
Nope,
I got him.
I'm going with Warren County. I'm sticking with Warren County.
You know I got to ask that.
Final answer.
Eagles.
Upset.
Warren County.
My upset pick, Warren County. Going Warren County.
I'm going to ask that again. Final answer.
Warren County.
I ain't going to answer no more.
Yeah, Warren County.
Northampton Jaguars all over the Eagles of Warren County. Sorry, Eagles. I picked you last week. Northampton, they got to get win to get that playoff push. Your favorite team, our favorite team, the show's favorite team, Kent Pride got a bye this week. Vance County versus Franklin, and Granville. 1-4 Lewisburg versus the 4-2 Warriors of J.F. Well.
Oh, J.F. Well.
J.F. Well. Warriors all the way. Warriors, we come to check you out.
Yeah, we come.
3-2 South Granville versus 2-4 Southern Durham. Ooh.
I'm going Southern Durham on that.
I'm gonna go South Granville. The Vikings got some quiet wins over
Yeah.
there. 1-4 Granville Central versus the Vipers 6-0 Vance County. Vance County. Let's jump over to Wilson, Daryl. 2-3 Bedford versus 0-5 Goldsboro makeup game.
I'm going Bedford.
Bedford all the way,
Yeah.
Coach Beard. 2-2 fight. Golden Demons. I almost said the Warriors. Golden Demons mad right now. Let me change that. 2-2 fight. Golden Demons versus 3-1 West Johnson on Friday night.
I'm going West Johnson.
4-1 WPA versus 1-2 Weldon.
WPA.
You don't know what it stands for. Let me tell you. Wilson Prep Academy. CBA Cop versus South Johnson. A Friday night game. We got games all over this.
I know it. South Johnson.
Got a watch-out game for you. My watch-out game of the week, there are 4-2 North Pitt, 0-1 versus 4-2, 2-0 SWE Southwest Edgecombe.
I'm going Southwest Edgecombe on that one.
Cougar Town, USA.
Yeah.
Come on, Pine Tops. Go with me. Ride with me. Southwest on the win. 3-2, another watch-out game. 3-2 Southeast Raleigh versus 4-1. Your favorite team in that area, Comets of Clayton.
I'm going to stick with Comets.
I'm
going Clayton.
Holla at me, D.
I'm going Clayton.
Holla at us, D. I'm going Clayton Comets. Brian, I see you. Grit and grind games of the week. Let's start with Southern Wayne. 2-3 Southern Wayne versus 4-1 Hunt Warriors.
I think I'm going Hunt. I think Hunt just needs to stay focused like they've been. Don't relax. Don't get to the point where you feel like you achieved something, because you still got a lot of games in front of you. You got 5 games in front of you. But I think Hunt's going to take care of business. I'm going Hunt on that. I
got to go Hunt. I think Southern Wayne won't turn around this game.
No.
But I think because Hunt is, like you said, they're locked in.
Yeah, they locked in.
Ever since beating ACOT, they are on a mission.
Yeah.
Our next one, before we do this, the Western game right here, our Smoky Mountain game of the week. 4-1 East Wilkes hosting the 6-0 Granite Bears of Mount Airy.
I'm going Mount Airy. I just feel Mount Airy is on some other stuff right now. They're trying to get back to back-to-back state championships in the 1A.
Go ahead and say it. You won't say it. The campaign
they on that campaign
trip. What the campaign bus? Going on another trip, ain't it?
Going on another trip. That campaign bus for Mount Airy is going back to that state championship, and they're going to continue on. So I'm going Mount Airy in this game.
You know, you want to think the Cardinals, East Wilkes can go out there. You go out there and give yourself a chance every Friday. But I think this Mount Airy team, when I look at it, they're just too loaded.
Yeah.
They're too loaded.
Yeah.
They're more loaded this year than what they were last year.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what's scary.
That is very scary.
I'm going Mount Airy. Round 2 of the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship game. 5-1 Nash Central Bulldogs versus the 1-3 Rocky Mount Griffons in Griffon Stadium.
It's going to be a tough
place
game.
To play in.
It's going to be a tough game because there's pride on both sides.
And Rocky Mount comes out big for county rival games.
Yes, they definitely come out for that. But I just think this Nash Central team is still focused on that Nash County champ, being the Grit and Grind Nash County champ. So
you said they were going to win it.
I'm going Nash Central on this game. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be a close game, but I'm going Nash Central.
It's going to be a close game, but I just think that Bulldog team can catch a Rocky Mountain team on a rebuild year.
Yeah.
And Rocky Mountain's getting good. They're making good strides. They're getting good strides on there, and they can be a dangerous team next season. But I think that Nash Central team just got too much firepower this year.
All right.
Leading us to our Franklin County prime time game of the week. Franklin County Grit and Grind championship game. 2 or 3 Wildcats of Bunn. Coming over. How long was that ride? What? 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Taking a 20-minute ride to come to Ram Nation to play the Red Rams of Franklinton. Right here in Ram Nation.
I think it's going to be a good game.
It is.
I think the pride is definitely there for both teams. The community's going to get involved. I think this stadium here is going to be packed on both sides. The atmosphere is going to be prime. It's going to be big time football.
It is.
I think overall, I think Franklinton will come out with the win, but it's going to be close. This series have been going back and forth for a while, but I think Franklinton may just have a little bit more right now than what Bunn has. Bunn is still a young team, so I'm going to go Franklinton in this one.
I think Bunn's a young team, but I think Franklinton, though, they need this win right here to keep pushing for them to get a playoff berth.
Yep.
And it starts this next game. You got 3 tough conference games coming up.
Yep.
You got to steal one. This is the one you need to steal right
That's
here.
it.
I'm taking Franklinton on the win. Good game, good atmosphere, close game, but I think Franklinton's going to have just enough to get a good win on their resume to give them a chance that when it's selection Saturday, and the committee's looking at it, they can look at them and say, well, they got some good wins on the resume. I'm taking Franklinton on the win.
All right, Shawn.
Well, we want to thank the Red Ram and Ram Nation for hosting us this week here at the beautiful Franklinton High School. We want to thank the Franklinton High coaching staff, the Franklin Athletic Booster Club. We want to thank the administration, the faculty for allowing us to be here. And as always, Daryl, do you have the grit?
And do you have the grind?
And we will see you next week at either Rocky Mountain or JF Well.